here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of this fire, was not aware of this nightmare. But when I stopped to see those eyes begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try. If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have the time to fight. If I wait tonight, I'm so tired tonight, I'm falling asleep when I'm home, when I'm no way to go, no one that can see through that side of the light. I can see my life is crap, I have to see them too. I just live into my world, far from the pain, the fear. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the start of hell. But when I stop to see those eyes begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try. If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have the time to fight. If I wait tonight, I'm so tired tonight, I'm falling asleep when I'm home. I was so wrong, I was so blind, I was so dumb and out of time. I was so wrong, I was so blind, I was so
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here tonight. We're live at Atlanta Speedway here. Hot Atlanta, that's what they call it a lot of times here. Atlanta, USA, get some partly cloudy skies. We got Xfinity, well, Extreme Motorsports 99.com. Xfinity Series cars here are going to run around this 1.5 of a mini super speedway, so to speak. Well, I'm Joe White. I'm up here in the booth. They got old Ryan W. Daniels back here. What's going on, Ryan?
How's it going, Joe? Just excited to be back this week after being sick last week and not being able to be up here, and just ready to go tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. We got qualifying underway, or completed, so to speak here. Cameron Hearn, the man, put it on point up there. Our man, old Eric Tess, right there behind him. Ryan Broderick sitting in third. So, and I see old Mark Broderick is in the chat out there. What's going on, Mark? Kay Hill, Billy, several other ones out there, man, watching tonight. So, I know you were out here telling me these guys, man, are slipping and sliding.
Yeah, there's a few unhappy people and a few guys who are loving the way this track is handling. Obviously, as we can see based on qualifying, Cameron Hearn must really like the way these cars are handling tonight. But the general consensus so far, because Iracing does not have a setup for these Xfinity cars here at Atlanta, they're running the baseline setup, and the baseline setup here is extremely loose. So there's going to be maybe a few cautions early that may dictate the outcome of this race if these guys are getting that bad loose out of these corners.
Yeah, you're right on that one. That's the thing. I mean, Atlanta's always been kind of one of those hot Atlanta style tracks, slick and slippery. So it's going to be interesting to see, and like I was telling you before, how you combat that. Obviously, if you lose going in, back to turn up. If you lose coming off, well, don't get back on the gas or mash it so hard. But so you can actually kind of, it's easier probably to dictate going in than it is coming off. But I think we're probably going to see some issues coming off these turns. I was watching them in qualifying there. A couple of guys get a little squirrely. And I think turn 4, turn 3 obviously is going to be the places, because Atlanta's just, it's a fast-paced track here. I mean, they're going to get some high speeds. Some of these speeds get close to, well, this car might be just like 190 mile an hour. So.
Yeah, the normal speeds around here, you're right, are about 190 miles an hour going down the front straightaway and into these corners. But, for example, taking a look here, going back on the onboard with the 67 on his lap that he put down to get the pole, he was doing 195 going into turn 1 was Cameron Hearn. So these guys are going to be definitely going really, really quick, but with the car being this loose, it's going to make it tough to save it if one of these guys does happen to get loose in front of the field.
Oh, absolutely. And, definitely could take a field out. Track's kind of self-cleaning, half and half. Usually the car will come back up the track on you. So let's see. But we want to appreciate everybody coming out here, because we are at Atlanta Motor Speedway here tonight. Hot Atlanta here for Extreme Motorsports 99.com Xfinity Series here. This is the first of 2 for this week. Tomorrow night we'll be here again, Extreme Motorsports 99.com Cup Series. Excuse me. And those are the big boys here in Extreme. So, but tonight, though, Ryan, we have 33 bad, fast drivers, bad, fast cars on a bad, fast track.
Yeah, that's a big field to have, too. And, we talk about each and every week the numbers that show up to run these races. And a couple of guys who are going to be in the field tonight that we haven't seen in a while, Doug Blackman being one of them. He has returned here tonight. Thomas Wagner switches from the number 90 to the 23 this evening. And a few other guys who have, a couple newer ones. David, looks like Kilo in the 28 machine. So just some different names. And obviously, we've seen a lot of the guys like Eric Tesh. He's back for the first time at Extreme since, I believe, Indianapolis. And we've seen him a couple times this week. Saw him pick up the win the other night at Iowa.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, out there in the chat, man, old Shula.
Really?
From Dre, yeah. Sean Zulu, he's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him out there. Even Dre Broadcasting, so yeah. Sean Zulu. Well, I tell you what, hey, Well, congratulations, Kay Hill, man. Keep up the good work there. Awesome. What's up, Nicholas Caldwell? Definitely, he said he's going to be rolling off in 16th here tonight. So these guys out here, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what these guys can. But here we go. We're about to set sail here. Take flight, Atlanta. We're going to grid this thing up here tonight.
Yeah, these boys getting set to grid, or already now gridding up and getting ready to roll. And you said it already, the 67 of Cameron Hearn going to be on the pole here tonight.
Yep. Well, let's go through our grid in order here. Cameron Hearn putting it on pole. Eric Tess, we're calling the Iceman for the Neverland, starting in second. Ryan Broderick there third. Richie Evans starting fourth. Matt Hoover in fifth. Bryce Senesack starting sixth. Nate Trito there, the hard charger in seventh. Keith Haney in eighth. Mike Rominger in ninth. Colton Lane rounds out the top 10s. We look through the rest of this field, star-studded. That's the way I say it, because we've got 33 bad, fast drivers of Extreme Motorsports 99.com Xfinity Series here at Atlanta, about to do battle around this 1.5 mile mini super speedway of a track here in Atlanta, North Carolina. Atlanta, USA. Everything to me is North Carolina. I don't know why, but what do you think, Ryan?
I think it's going to be exciting. I mean, you look at some of the guys too that are going to starting out back tonight. Dwayne Culberson elected to take a slower qualifying lap, as did the 51 of Davis Richards, Aiden Young, Ethan Kurtz, Matthew Walzerbach, Mason Wetzel, who was very fast in practice. As a matter of fact, at the second fastest lap, he's going to start 28th. So, I mean, a lot of guys who could be considered heavy hitters here later on in the race are going to be having to work their way past possibly a few wrecks to try to make their way to the front.
Yep, absolutely. Well, you're talking about what we're about to set here to do. We're about to set here to do 140 laps around Atlanta here tonight for the Xfinity Series guys here. They're going to get it done. Going to be interesting to see guys getting geared up here. Hey, what's going on, Rob, out there? Eli, how y'all doing? As always, Mason says he starting in the back, went to the second backup car. How many backup cars did you bring?
Well, hopefully some of these teams brought backup cars after what we saw in practice, but unfortunately they're only going to be able to get to use the one if they need it here for this race. Only one faster pair, which again is going to be all part of it. We saw that last week, as a matter of fact, in the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Cup Series race in New Hampshire, they didn't have fast pairs for the first time in a long, long time in the Cup Series.
They did. First race.
Yeah, first race there with no faster pairs, and now tonight, I mean, basically these guys got to do everything they can to make sure that they're not doing anything. Oh my goodness, give me one moment, I'm sorry.
Got old Aiden out there. Speaking of Aiden, he's sitting on the field here tonight, starting 21st there. Old Aiden talking in his little ear there, folks. So we're about to get set here. Pace car's coming into turn 3. We're going to have 140 laps here, folks. Pure mayhem.
Okay,
Quick repairs shouldn't happen. Well, I think they get one here in the Xfinity, but I think in the Cup Series they took it away. So I like that. But here we go. Pace car's coming out of turn 4 here. Going to set sail on the pit road, take that hard left turn. Cameron Hearn's going to send these things, hammer through the gears here. And turn number 1 here, folks. Green flag's in the air. He gets a good jump out there. The 67 does. Behind him, you got Ryan Broderick and company, though, and Eric Tess are door to door as they head off into turn 1.
Yeah, that's for sure. Cameron Hearn gets that big jump out in front. Those two teammates, the 32 and the 96, going to follow in line there in second and third. And behind them, these guys continue to stay side by side, as I believe that is Matt Hoover trying to get down to the inside of the 3 of Richie Evans.
Yeah, absolutely. They're side by side. Richie Evans on the high side there, looking good. You got old Matt Hoover on the inside. They're door to door as they storm off for turn number 4. We complete lap 1 of 140 here, folks. Extreme Motorsports 99.com. These guys are doing a heck of a job out here so far. So good. Got through lap 1 very good. I know everybody was out there taking bets. Should we make it through the lap? So far, been very patient, Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say before too. when Aiden, you were right, I was whispering in my ear there. I was trying to say before, it's basically be the same thing as the Cup Series was last week without the faster pair. You have to be super patient because with these cars being as loose as they are, if you get into a big accident, right at the beginning of this race here and have to use that faster pair, as challenging as the conditions are going to be, that second faster pair is like gold tonight. You need to have that just in case you need it later.
Yep, absolutely. Did you say 2 fast repairs?
I did not. I said there is 1 faster pair.
Oh, okay.
I said the faster pair. That was my fault.
Okay, my bad. Well, then you said the second one would be gold. Okay, my bad. Yeah.
I meant the second car.
Ah, got you. Okay, cool. Well, and you're right, because that's, we know, and I know, we've raced a lot, man, to know that those fast fixes, they come in handy. We definitely need them. So right now, though, the guys have been very patient here with 30-some machines out here. And looking good while they're doing it. But still up front, Cameron Hearn, he is setting pace here. Ryan Broderick is out front, or right there behind him. So it's nose to tail and Eric Test. Now, we know Eric, he likes a kind of a loose style car.
Yes, he does. This is going to play kind of one of those tracks that may play into Eric's favor because with as loose as the car is, it's going to fall into tire management, which we know, is something Eric is very, very good at doing. And right now, he's looking strong with that 96 Hooligan machine right there in the 3rd spot as Ryan Broderick continues to get closer and closer to the back end of the 67 of Cameron Hearn.
Yep, absolutely. I was riding along here with Bryce Senesac. He's in the 5th spot there. And he's riding in the tire tracks that we know in the hard charger. Nate Torito right there. He's got old Matt Hoover, who's already won once here in the Xfinity Series here over in Extreme. And looking good. He's up there in the 6th spot. So right now, a mixed bag of different drivers. Cameron out front, Ryan Broderick there in 2nd. Eric Test 3rd, Nate Torito. They're getting fanned out a little bit, which is not bad. So showing some patience here right now early on.
Yeah, that is for sure. And we had one guy who did get loose there out of the entry to the trial. Jacob Bell in the 77 looks like he might have gotten loose. Did save that 77 machine, but he is going to have lost quite a few spots after being in, I want to believe, the top 15.
Yep, absolutely. Well, kind of still riding around here with old Bryce Senesac, as he's got old Matt Hoover there. It seems to be the guys who are, like what you said, a little better on long runs. Been very patient because we're getting this field kind of spread out here. Anything can happen still, though. Like I said, when you're dealing with a loose car, here's the thing. You've got to back that thing down. As we do see one car on the grass down there. They must have lost it. No caution out or anything, but just kind of looking through this field. And I'm seeing these cars spread out. Nobody's trying to go side by side. Nobody's pressing the issue yet. So a lot of patience and poise out here right now.
Yeah, and that car that is around is the 23 of Thomas Wagner, still trying to get going as the leaders are coming by. As of right now, was able to keep it below the apron. That 23 machine already not having the night he wanted to. And got some other cars who are still continuing to get loose throughout the field.
My bad. I listened to my sound right fast.
It's all good. Up at the front right now, actually, Nate Trito is past Eric Tesh and is actually starting to run down the 32 of Ryan Broderick now. That 97 starting to look strong as well up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're right. Right now, though, these guys, men, are being very patient up front, very considerate, so to speak. So let's see. Like you was talking about, old Nate Trito, he's taking it up there. I'm riding around with Aiden Young right now, who's looking good. He's in the 14th spot. He's on the back deck lid there of the number 59, excuse me. 13th place there, James Thorndike. And old Ethan Kurtz fires on the inside of Aiden back there.
Yeah, Aiden Young, obviously you mentioned it, whispering in my ear before he and I are teammates elsewhere out here, but, he was the one of the guys telling me that it was really loose out here. So far, Aiden's done a good job, as you mentioned, running in the 14th spot. battling there with the 20 of Ethan Kurtz now for, I want to say that's the 13th position. Aiden just looking to have a good run here, despite how loose the car is. He one of those guys who's in the points battle trying to maintain position before the chase gets going here in just about another 4 or 5 weeks.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, got a good battle going on for third and fourth spot. Eric Tesh goes on the inside there. Ryan Broderick takes that spot away as he storms on by him. I got a feeling, like I say, the guys with the tires, but boy, the man on the move, that's Nate Trito in that 97 machine. He is taking it to the front. And we know that's some crafty veterans up there. Cameron Hearn, Nate Trito, them boys know how to get it around this track. Don't count out that 96 though. He might pull a few tricks out of the closet here. Got another car off the pace down there. Matt Hoover and company back there. They're in like a 4 or 5 car battle right there.
Yeah, there's a good battle going on just behind Matt Hoover. That is the 3 of Richie Evans, the 4 of Mike Rominger, John Houston, Colton Lane, and Keith Haney. All 5 of those cars under a blanket. That is 7th through 12th positions. So those guys are having a good battle back there.
Yeah, they are right there. Really, really good battle. Like I say, Mr. Extreme himself, Richie Evans back there. John Houston's in the mix with them. Colton Lane, we talked to him a couple times. You know, Nick Hunt's right there. James Thorndike. You know, Ethan Kurtz, like you say. So, good mix of bunch there, man, talent-wise. Through that field, so anybody's ball game right now. It's definitely I think this is going to turn out to be more of a driver style track.
Yeah, so far that's definitely what it's becoming right now. You know, Nate Trito has just made the pass for the lead around Cameron Hearn, who is now under fire from the 67. The 67 is now under fire from the 96 of Eric Tesh, not far behind them as well. The 32 of Ryan Broderick, right behind his teammate there of Eric Tesh. So. These guys starting to move to the front, and even though the 97 and Nate Trito is the new leader, he's not exactly, you know, starting to necessarily pull right away from the 67. These guys are still within a shout of making it a battle there for the lead once again.
Yeah, it is. You're right. Up front's a good battle. Still watching this one back here for like round, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and we're on the caution.
Yes, we are trying to get a look at who it may have been. I can only assume that there's a spin somewhere. The 27 of Nicholas Caldwell is all tore up, but I don't believe it was him.
Well, we'll go back on him, and we'll find it in the mix somewhere here. So,
alrighty.
Let's see. Well, he was tore up before.
I see. It was the 15.
15, okay. That's Colton Pace. Ooh, yeah, he just spun it. Well, we'll go back one more time here. Got that Wrangler machine going there. Let's see, it looks like he's just out there riding by himself. Kind of just what we was talking about earlier. Got loose, yep, coming out of turn 4. That thing kicked sideways. Ooh, boy, I tell you what. That was 87, had to go through the grass to avoid him. Good job on his end. Well, he didn't hit anything, so that's a good thing. So, all right, well, who you want to talk to?
Well, I think probably got to get a talk with Nate Trito. I mean, he started 7th, currently the leader as all these guys hit pit road.
Good deal.
All right, I will go find him. I can only imagine the one place that he may be in this team speak.
Sure. Way down there in Nickel Racing.
Yes, sir. All right, I got him in our staging room.
Nate Trito, Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
10-4.
I'll tell you what, we call you the hard charger. You definitely charged that 97 machine to the front. How's the feeling out there right now?
Oh, the car was a little bit loose in practice. Wasn't really comfortable with it. Stopped during the first lap in qualifying, and the second lap was a hell of a lot slower. Should have just run the first one out, but car's coming to me a lot. It's really fun, actually. Like I said, the setup is really a loose short run, but you got to save tire, and it's snugged up real nice during that opening run. And so I'm excited to see what we got.
Absolutely, looking good out there so far, man, guys. Think you got enough to bring it home at lap 140?
Hopefully. It's just being consistent and not messing up. You know, a lot of the guys up front have already clipped the wall from just burning their tires off, so I just got to be smart and smooth and hopefully not make any mistakes, and I think we'll be there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Good luck out there, Nate.
Thank you very much.
All righty.
So far down there.
Yeah, way down the bottom. Well, what are you thinking here so far? Guys are pretty patient out there right now.
Yeah, these guys are doing a good job. I mean, you know, I really thought that there was going to be more cautions to that, to be perfectly honest, after, you know, what some of these guys were saying. But it is as one of those things that we suspected may happen. You know, this race wears on, the track gets some more rubber put down in it. These guys, their tires wear off. It tightens it up just a little bit. Obviously, it appears that that's what happened with Nate Trito. So possibly, as this race continues on, we may not even see the spinning issues on a short run, for example, like a restart. You may see it here as a potential, but that's always a potential, to be fair, at any racetrack on a restart. So,
yeah, no doubt. Well, that gave me time to eat my cookie anyway. You know me, I gotta eat some.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, my family will be home in a little bit, and they got a giant burrito for me, and I won't be able to eat it because I'm here with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got hot
Burrito
dogs
with queso and all kinds of stuff.
I got hot dogs coming.
Yeah, I'm not big on hot dogs. Let's like a cookout or
You're
something.
fired.
Okay.
Wow. You're not big on hot dogs?
Hamburgers, man.
Well, that's good too. I give you that one. All right.
If I have to pick between the two.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that. Hamburgers, hot dogs. That's awesome. Well, one thing about it is these guys are getting set here to go back green flag racing here, folks, and it's going to be a thriller. Was a good long green flag run right there. A lot of patience. Old Nate Trito was able to power that 97 machine to the front, and in a hurry, but he's got Eric Tesh on his outside there, and Cameron Hearn's going to start behind him.
Yeah, Cameron Hearn looked like he had a really good car there at the initial start on that short run. Perhaps he'll be able to try to get the lead back here on this restart, as he's going to restart third, as you said. But I'm just looking through the field real quick as well. Got to give a shout already tonight to John Houston. Started 19th tonight, all the way up to the 8th spot here as we're coming to the restart here to take lap 22.
Yep, absolutely. Well, you're right. Going to take lap 22 here. Pace cars coming out of turn 4. Going to definitely set sail, take that left-hand turn off on pit road, and going to let old Nate Trito hammer through the gears. Here we go. Green flag in the air, folks. Hope you're enjoying it here at Atlanta tonight as he gets a good jump out front. Eric Tesh and company behind him there. He's got Cameron Hearn on the inside. They go into turn 1 there, door to door.
Yeah, and the inside is definitely going to be the place to be on these restarts. So a good move there by the 67 to follow in line with the 97. Get that spot away from Eric Tesh. That's going to put Eric back to third. Ryan Broderick in fourth as they're side by side with it looks like John Houston to the inside of I believe is that Matt Hoover.
You're right. Matt Hoover's right there on the outside. Yes, he's got Matt Hoover sitting in the 5th spot. You're right. The 88 machine's on the inside. Right behind him though, old Richie Evans and Keith Haney right there. They are definitely, man, doing it big. These guys, man, are door to door, nose to tail as they storm off down the backstretch.
Yeah, these guys looking good right now. It definitely appears that this track, it has to be tightening up for these guys because we're seeing a lot of good side-by-side racing. These guys aren't looking as loose as they were earlier on, but as I say that the 13 had a little bit of a slide there as he exited 4. A good job hanging on to it by Matt Hoover as he's trying to catch up to his teammate Ryan Broderick at the 32. And we also have a battle for the lead.
All right, got a battle for the lead. That'd be Cameron Hearn right there trying to get it done. Up front's got Eric Tesh still in third spot. Cameron Hearn does as Nate Trito hits the wall.
Yeah, Nate Trito ate that wall. That 97 got real loose on the exit of turn 2 there. A good job to keep it up out of the way, but that's going to stack it up behind them as now all these guys that were starting to get a little bit spread out are now all back nose to tail, with the exception of Cameron Hearn, who has now got about a 7/10 of a second lead.
Yeah, you want to talk about another one there. Ryan Broderick almost lost it coming out of turn, had to get out the throttle there a little bit. He backed it all the way back up to him. You can see the damage on the side there. The 97 is going to hinder him just a little bit. Like we talked earlier on, though, they got fast fixes here. These guys right now are being bad fast here at Atlanta Motorsports Speedway is what I'm going to call it here. Hot Atlanta. Well, right now, good battle going on between Richie Evans, Bryce Senesack, and Nick Hunt back there.
Yeah, and I'm actually back here riding on board with the 99 of Mason Wetzel. Started 28th, now up to the 13th spot racing side by side with Aiden Young, and there's a couple guys getting loose in front of them. Mike Rominger almost went around, able to hang on, and they're 3 wide back here with the 4, the 99, and the 20.
Yeah, that's going to see if that holds up. Well, the 20 takes it there, gets a little wiggly going in with the TJ Maxx there. He fires coming out of turn 4. He's going to lose it out of 4. Man, they are beating and banging each other back there.
Wow, and Aiden Young in the 4 car, Mike Rominger got together. Aiden had to go through the grass to avoid having that be bigger than it was going to be, but these guys still looking squirrely here on these new tires. Oh, and the 9 saved it. What a save by the 9 machine.
Man, I tell you what, these guys right now are driving the wheels off of these things and doing good. Like you said back there, they were beating each other's door handles off if they had door handles. And definitely, man, looking good, holding on to these machines. They're a handful right now, folks. They're definitely some evil handling monsters back here. And right now, even though they're, well, I'm going to say maybe a couple car lengths or car lengths off of each other, it doesn't take much for the guy in front of you. Once he starts losing it, you can close in. The closing rate is so fast here.
Yeah, that's a definite. You know, the closing rate is as you just said, it's so fast, and these guys even get a little bit loose, and that's why you see, especially at a place like Atlanta here, you know, one guy gets loose and then it goes from being a single car spin to a 4 or 5 car wreck, and that's just because, you know, these guys caught him so quick, the cars are so free, you can't make that evasive move that you want to, and when you try to, your car runs the risk of snapping just as bad as that guy that initially spun. So that's why we're seeing these guys get spread out like this, is you know, maybe one guy in front of them has to check up and everybody then you know, shifts around to try to make sure they're not going to make the situation worse than what it could be.
Yeah, absolutely. Right around with the David Khalil. Is that how you pronounce his name?
The 28?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's David Killo or something.
Killo, okay. Well, riding with him right now, and he's back there in the 21st spot. He just got around the man of Dwayne Cumberson. Hadn't really mentioned a lot on that end, but good battling going on back here. So we're just trying to run through the field, folks. So right now we still got 29 machines out here. Adam Young's the first car, only 1 car lap down. So let me know how the sound sounds out there. Looks like the 60. Is that the 67 around? Or 27?
No, I believe that was the 77.
Okay. Jacob Bell. Unfortunate on his end, man, not having the night he wants. Didn't bring a caution out. Wow, that's a good one right there. But what I was saying there before is to let everybody know, hey, let me know how the sound sounds, kind of, you know, make sure everybody can hear me and Ryan, hear the cars, and nothing's overbearing. But man on the move right now, Ryan, that 88 machine.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we talked about it just before the restart there, that John Houston had moved himself up into the 8th spot on the restart, now up to 3rd, starting to look like he wants to apply some pressure to the back of the 96 of Eric Tesh. That 88, very, very strong so far after starting in the 19th spot, only taking him now just around 30 green flag laps or so to get into this position. That 88 could definitely be a threat there. Everything continues the way it's been going for him.
Yeah, it is looking bad fast. Now, the AC Delco spark plug machine's got Eric Tesh right there in front of him. Just has to be very patient and drive it up here. We know he can drive one of these things, but on the eel handling car here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedways, we're going to have to see. Right now, got old Keith Haney right there doing an exceptional job being able to pull that thing up. That's an awesome run for him.
Yeah, Keith Haney's been having an excellent season so far. I mean, we've seen him up at the front. He's yet to win a race this season, I do believe, but have seen a lot of potential out of Keith Haney. He's been able to take it to these guys week after week, and you know, if you want to talk about a guy who may just be within like a finger width way of breaking through that proverbial glass ceiling, the 87 has got to be at the top of the list here for Keith Haney to eventually get a win here this season.
Well, if he keeps up with what he's doing, he's on the right track to doing it. Right now, there seems to be that they're running down the leader up there. Their lap times, Eric Tesh, John Houston, and Keith Haney, all faster than the leader. So they're slowly but surely reeling him in. But you definitely got to be very careful up here and mindful, because passing, you drop to that inside, it's going to be very hectic. As we're riding with Keith Haney here on the dash cam, Ryan, kind of gives us a good representation of what they see inside that car. We can hear him throttle that thing through the turns. Well, I was telling you, he's backing it off, letting it roll. He's on the gas, off the gas, on the gas. Yeah, he is definitely easing that thing coming off the turns.
Yes, he is, but he's doing it good. He's going to look at the inside of the 88 here as we go into turn 3. John Houston's going to have to try to pinch that 87 down to keep him from getting the spot, but it looks like Keith Haney's going to get the momentum here, and Keith able to make that pass, that 87 car up to third, as Eric Tesh continues to close in on the leader of Cameron Hearn.
Yeah, absolutely. He is definitely closing in a hurry. This is playing into his favor. We're still riding along here with Keith Haney. Let's go back to John Houston. Let's listen to him for a second. It's interesting to listen to these guys throttle control through here because that's what they're having to do. Well, when we say driver's track, and Ryan, I'm just got to say it because we came from Daytona last night. When I say skill of tracks, this is what I talk about. This right here is definitely going to be a driver's skilled style track. Because we're riding with John, and what I noticed with him, he's not throttling off and on like we're hearing him on and off the gas like Keith was doing.
Yeah, and it could just be the line that the 88 is running. It could just be the way that John is able to handle the car. It may suit his style better. He may not have to feather it like the 87 is, but right now, feathering it appears to be the way to go as we continue to see that 87 get closer and closer now to Eric Tesh, who is still within a shout of the 67, but you know, you're right. We're not hearing the 88 have to quite feather it as much, but I do believe he is letting it roll a little bit more in the corner though as well.
He is. He's letting that thing roll to the corner. Obviously a lot better. Right now though, it seems like whatever they're doing up there is definitely on the right track. And George out there says he's enjoying the race on 100 inches of his big screen and got 10 of his guys out in the man cave. You got your popcorn, hot dogs. Ryan likes hamburgers, by the way. Enjoying the race so far?
Yeah, this has been a good race so far. I mean, you know, we've seen a lot of great races.
George.
Oh.
I was talking to George. You didn't see the chat.
I did not. I didn't have my phone on.
Oh, my bad. Well, George says he's watching us on his big 100-inch TV, and he's got 10 of his friends in his man cave watching.
Well, I hope all of them, as you were saying, are enjoying as we're doing our best to keep track with all the action going on throughout the field.
Great. Ryan's constant professional, folks. Me, I'm just a constant.
I'm trying.
Awesome. Well, one thing is constant. These guys are being pretty consistent and good racing so far. Like we said, we thought, don't get us wrong, it's really not the representation of what we're seeing here. These cars are a handful right now on this track, and that's why we were going through it looking. These guys are definitely having to feather the throttle, ease into the throttle, turn after turn, and be very gingerly and careful.
Yeah, you talked about driver skill just a few moments ago, and you're right. It's definitely taking some guys with some experience here to run really well, as now Keith Haney is going to make the pass on the 96 of Eric Tesh. He's to the inside. That 87 is looking really stable. One of the more stable cars that I've seen this run that's been able to keep running out up in front.
Well, you know, some guys just love older tires. Some love newer style short runs. Some just love that old, you know, long run. So it's good. He's definitely got a bad, fast car. He's definitely faster than Cameron Hearn. It'll be in no time before he runs the leader down. I'm watching back here with Bryce Senesac, James Thorndike, Mike Rominger. They got a good little four-car battle hookup going on back here as their nose to tail. And George said he's got barbecue and beer.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good combination.
I like the barbecue. You can have the beer.
Well,
yeah.
We were talking before, too, though, Joe. Another guy just in front of them, that next group that's kind of there in front of that four-pack that you're watching. Oh, we do have a caution out.
Oh, looks like Matthew Wazenbach's involved.
Yeah,
yep.
Maybe the 45 as well.
Okay, well, we'll go back on Matthew and see, because I was just seeing his number drop on my list over here. That's why I kind of see it. But let's go back and watch here and see maybe if he was the cause of it or if he was just a victim of circumstance. He's coming out of the turn right now. Looks like he's got the 45 machine right there on his back deck lid, and I don't know if it's net code or they got together and 45 almost made it. Matthew just came back up, lost it up the turn. They both collided. I don't know if it's net code. If it was a tap, Brian, that was a very, very light one, to say the least.
Yeah, that was a that was a very ginger tap, if it was one at all. And I'm trying to ride on the actually on the left front suspension cam of the 24 or the 45 that iRacing gives me to see if they actually made contact. I don't think they did, but I just can't tell. It may have been that they did, and they were going into that dog leg, and that may have just been what clipped the 29, but I just can't tell from this angle.
Yeah, I can either. Well, I'll tell you what, George's got a party going over there. It says it's got beef rib, mac and cheese, brisket sliders, chicken quarters, and brute. Wow.
That sounds like a party.
Yeah, we're going to George's house to call the race next time, dog. I hear you. Wow. Well, you want to, who do you want to talk to now?
Well, let's take a look here, see who was running where.
Let's talk to Cameron Hearn.
Alrighty.
We didn't talk to him. He was out front there. Let's see, kind of maybe get an idea, because, you know, this guy was running him down. Let's see if he's got, you know, how he feels on a long run.
All right.
George says he's practicing for the barbecue contest. Cameron Hearn, Joe White in the booth, got a copy?
10-4.
Well, Cameron, it looks like you got a bad, fast 67 machine out there tonight. Thing about it is they were running you down slowly but surely. How's that car feel on the long runs out there?
Yeah, I like it when it's loose. A lot of guys are struggling with it loose, but after about 10, 15 laps, the looseness comes off, and that's why I kind of became good friends with the wall coming off too, but luckily it just kind of scraped it and no real damage to the car. Definitely I think the track's tightening up, so I kind of see if I can change my line a little bit and see what the other guys are doing, try to save my tires a little bit beginning to run too. So just tire conservation I think is going to be key from the rest of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what me and Ryan was up here talking about. Looks like y'all got your hands full with a very slick, slippery track. I mean, obviously the racing right now does not indicate that, but you know, we're listening in car, some of you riding along with you, and just listen to the throttle control and all. Are you lifting, like, are you feathering it into turns, or are you just kind of letting it glide? Because we've seen a lot of guys doing different style things.
Yeah, definitely at the beginning of the run, I never really completely get out of the throttle. I probably, you know, go all the way down a quarter throttle to half in the first 2 or 3 laps. But I think this run, I'm going to try to take it a little bit easy. I think that's why I'm kind of burning my tires up at the beginning, because I'm constantly on the throttle, not letting the car kind of set and just driving it. So I'm trying to take a little bit easier on this run and let the car set and kind of catch, then get back on it.
All right. Well, again, I want to congratulate you on putting that thing on pole here tonight, and wish you the best out there.
I appreciate it. Where was your tires, Mike?
You ain't down there yet.
Have you down in about 2 seconds.
No.
Yeah.
There we go.
He trying to get tires going on, folks. Tires.
Talking strategy with the teammates.
Yeah, he's way down there at the bottom too. You know, let's see. I'm seeing the SRA boys here, do we?
No, not a lot tonight.
Yeah,
not at all, actually.
Yeah, Galante and them didn't make it over. That's all right. Obviously, see old Jake Nichols racing down there. You know who I'd like to see in one of these Xfinity cars one race? That would be Jake.
I don't know. I feel like, to be honest, it would be cool to see Jake do it, but I feel like at that point, anything less than a win would be unsatisfactory for the old 73.
Yeah, but it should be cool.
Oh, it would be cool nonetheless, but what I'm saying is, like, he'd probably win. Let's just put it that way. You and me both have the same pick for the win.
I don't know. I like Eric Tish.
We'd be putting the jinx on somebody else.
That's right. Like I did last night.
Yeah, let's not talk about that, shall we? You talk about a jinx. Oh, Ryan Daniels, how happy would that kid be? Oh, when Netco takes him out, of course.
Hey, I was trying. I was so salty. Oh, well, here we go. Pace car's coming out of turn 4. I'll take that hard left turn on pit road here. Cameron Hearn's going to head to the gears. Green flag in the air, lap 49 of 140, folks. Head right behind them, Keith Haney and Nate Trito. Nate Trito's got a clean car now. He's going to try to get that thing back up front. See if he can't do some damage to that old 67 up there, who's been a class of the field so far, but they're strung out. Now they're getting single file a little bit up front.
Yeah, and another guy I've been watching, I was going to mention him right before that caution. I talked about it earlier. The 99 of Mason Wetzel was so fast in practice. We saw him in the chat say that he had to break out a backup car, jokingly, of course. And that 99 Advocare machine has looked good from the drop of the green. And right now, Mason battling side by side with Ryan Broderick for the 6th and 7th spot. Started 28th up to 7th. Mason very strong in that car.
Yep, sure enough, he is able to bring that thing up to the top 10 right there. You said the 7th spot. He's got Nick Hunt right there with him. Watching this good battle between that John Houston, Eric Tesh right there, and Ryan Broderick and Mason Wetzel. And all these guys are nose to tail battling it out, tooth and nail here at Atlanta.
And we got one in the grass. It looks like it may be the 20 of Ethan Kurtz.
Hate to see that on him. Young man's had a rough season so far, but riding along here with Eric Tesh. That boy's the Iceman for the 11 Lands. And you're right, John. You talk about it might be Thursday in some parts of the country. Well, he's like 5 hours ahead of me, so guess what? It's Thursday to him. He is actually from the Netherlands, whichever, I call it Netherlands, whatever. Anyways, he's from over there and very dedicated because not only does he run like tonight, he runs Sunday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night.
Yeah, Eric is definitely one of those guys that likes to burn the midnight oil here on iRacing, because for him, as you just mentioned, very early hours of the morning, while it's, only the early hours of the night for us.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I like burning the midnight oil. Now, where did that ever come from?
Where did that what?
Where did that ever come from?
I don't know.
I gotta look that up on Goggle.
I'm going to just assume that that's a phrase that's used to describe somebody who's up very, very late. I don't know.
Yeah, probably so. All right, well, George says he's in Atlanta. That's right. He's a commentator down there in Atlanta, folks. He's got some pre-contest barbecue going on for the weekend racing. There you go. 4th of July weekend coming up, folks. Hope y'all have a wonderful 4th of July. We're off next week, OSR Network here for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Actually, excuse me. We're off for the Monday Night Thunder. Sunday night, I still got Wednesday, so be for a little short race there on the Sunday night, but Monday night and Tuesday night, definitely off.
Yeah, that is for sure, and I'm not sure we got a spinner. It's the 25 and the 9's involved as well.
Oh, 25, huh?
Yeah, 25 and 9.
So Doug Blackman. All right, let's go back on the replay here and see what happened. Catch a glimpse here. This one, hate to see the 9 there. That would actually be, oh, you won't talk about. Well, you know what? It looks like the 25 was getting loose way before he got there. And Aiden had to check up. Car behind Aiden just, tapped him. Yeah, just one of those racing deals. Aiden had to check up, nowhere to go. The guys were on top of each other right there. So, yeah, it looked like the 25 was starting to lose it. Aiden was checking up in the meantime. Guy behind him right there, bam. Just to get everybody up to speed out there, yeah, these guys are dealing with a very, very loose car here at Atlanta, very hot conditions. This is a baseline setup for these cars. They don't have a setup. It is fixed setup, but they don't have an iRacing fixed setup. So these guys are having to deal with a very ill handling beast right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. And seeing all these guys each and every time the caution comes out, coming down to the pit lane, and that is something that's very normal here for Atlanta, but especially tonight with as loose as these cars are. I mean, I'd expect basically if you ran 2 green flag laps, everybody would come back in for tires again. So I can't imagine that anybody at any point, unless it's a very short run at the end, would even dare not take tires at some point here tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, who do you want to talk to?
I think we got to get a talk with the 99 at Mason Wetzel. I mean, he's put in by far the biggest mover of the race so far, and he's putting that 99 machine up in the top 5.
All right, I'll let you talk to him then.
Alrighty. See if I can find him here.
Yeah, while you're looking on your list, I'll look on mine.
I got him.
Go ahead.
Mason Wetzel, this is Ryan Daniels in the OSR Network booth. Do you have a copy?
Read you loud and clear.
Well, Mason, we've seen you be very strong so far tonight in that number 99 Advocare Ford Mustang of yours. You started in 28th. You were running up there right outside the top 5. How's the car handling for you so far?
Car's handling good. It's fun setup to drive, and you gotta have patience here. The plan was to start in the back and just slowly work our way to the front.
Well, you've definitely been successful in doing that so far. Do you think you have what it takes to be able to get up there and try to battle for the lead here on this next run?
I believe so. Haven't really shown my hand yet. Just been running half throttle, so we'll see. Time will tell.
All right. Well, we wish you luck the rest of the way there, Mason, and we hope you hope to get the chance to talk to you again at lap 140.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thank you. Well, very confident driver there in the 99. Apparently, he thinks he's got a really good piece under him there.
Yeah, absolutely does. Well, he should. He's come, like you say, from the 28th to the 10th spot. He's been able to storm that thing to the front, so look good tonight, that 99. So, maybe we can get George, man, to mill us some barbecue ribs. What do you think?
I gotta say, that brisket sandwich that he said he had there, that sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, there you go. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. There's another one. Look at old Daniel Haney up there. So starting 3rd spot.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. I don't believe the top 3 pit we've seen Jacob Bell have a couple issues tonight. He's our current leader in that 77. Davis Richards right behind him, and you just said it, Daniel Haney, the cousin of Keith Haney, up there in 3rd. So going to be interesting to see what these guys on these older tires are able to do on this restart.
Yeah, I would say probably not the best of moves with the way this tracking car is, but then again, I have been wrong because, well, like you said, Eric Tesh pulled off a magnificent win on 2 tires stop as opposed to 4 tires everybody else and won that thing. So it could pay off, then again it couldn't, but we're about to see.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. I think, you know, if I'm somebody like Daniel Haney and a couple of those cars up at the front, if I know by the time we get through 1 and 2 that I just don't have the car, I'll probably do everything I can to go high in 3 and just let these guys go as not to cause a problem. Because the one thing that we have seen is as these tires get older, the car tightens up. I don't know how that's going to be on these restarts, though, for these guys. It may very well cause these guys to spin their tires here when they go to put the pedal down.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here we go. About to settle this issue here shortly as these guys are coming out of turn number 4. And pace car's going to take that hard left turn off on pit road and set these machines a rolling. Right here, a little dry ice, and there you go. I hear you. Here we go. Jacob Bell out front. Got Davis Richards right there, the Birdie's Construction Machine, looking good. Here we go. Oh, well, that answered our question.
Yep. And and a couple of guys in the back got caught up in it too.
Wow. Well, what you just saw right there is basically what old tires will do for you. Even in the Xfinity car, you can spin the tires, and they will spin and spin just as hard, especially on this setup in here. We're going to watch the replay again. We watched it there live, but watch and see. And as soon as he hit the throttle, bam, it did a hard right turn. And you're right. Oh, Ethan Kurtz looks like the man that just nowhere to go. But yeah, Ryan, that was just basically textbook old tires, wheel spin.
Yeah, and it's exactly what I was afraid of there on that start. To be honest, I thought the inside was going to be the looser line, but, just unfortunate for Davis Richards. I mean, he took the gamble, tried to stay out there on those older tires and just didn't pay off. And unfortunately, as you mentioned, the 20 car involved, the 9 car involved again back there, and these guys are going to have to be able to wait and see now. Now the question will be, these guys that pitted last time, are they going to come back? It looks like Jacob Bell has decided to stay out again, and so has Daniel Haney up to this point.
Yeah, I hate questioning drivers because it's really not our job. But at these conditions, it's just not worth it. Really, it's not. It's not worth being out front, because something like that, if he would have went to the left, Ryan, that could have collected about the whole field.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I mean, you think about it, the same thing, unfortunately, with the 77 and the 81 being out there, let's just say, God forbid, let's say Daniel has the same kind of issue here on this restart. He's on the inside line. You just said it. The 51 had the advantage, I guess you could call it that he spun to the outside line or up against the wall when he spun his tires. If somebody on the inside line had that same issue, they'd have collected the entire outside line as well. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see here. I do have to say, though, it does make somewhat sense if the 77 and 81 can stay up here and not have an issue. If they get another quick yellow like that, everybody may come back to the pit lane again, and those two would have done a really good job putting themselves up at the front. Yeah,
and in that case, sure, they look like geniuses. We've seen that play out time and time again. Guys do it, and by no means are we saying that we've never seen guys stay out and do this kind of strategy, because we've seen it. It is racing, and that's what you got. But obviously, it's only lap 62 of 140. If we were talking about lap 130 or lap 120, it might be more of a gamble or something. At this point, though, you're taking a big risk up front. Especially, and the reason we're saying big risk now, Ryan, is the conditions. If these guys had a normal setup, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree with you there 100%, because, the cars are already loose on the restart on fresh tires. Clearly on old tires, you're going to, obviously now we see that the possibility of spinning the tires on the older ones is just as bad as them being just loose in general on the new tires. So it's going to be all about just being careful on this restart. Now for the 77, the 81 did elect to pit, so Daniel Haney is going to go back to the back of the field there with that pit call. But the 77 just has to be careful on this restart not to spin them. And we're going to see that, I think, again too. Right now, at least what these guys are learning is how loose this car is going to be on a restart like that. But the gamble is going to be, will it pay off later in the race? That's obviously what the 77 is testing, possibly, is that he's either trying to get track position, hoping that everybody will pit with him when he next comes in, or he's trying to get an idea of how this car would handle if he tried this again later in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, time will tell here. We'll see. He did get a good jump up there. He didn't spin the tires or whatnot, so... And John Marine says, the burning the midnight oil expression originated from a novel in 1635 called Emblems. There you go.
Well, thank you, John Marine.
It said, quote from Emblems reads, "We spend our midday sweat or midnight oil. We tire the night in thought, the day in toil." Sounds like a rhyme.
Yeah, probably.
There we go. All right, good deal. That's awesome. You're getting educated, right?
Yeah. They say you never go a day without learning something, and there's nothing wrong with having a good education while we're up here in the OSR Network booth.
That's right, because you're from Massachusetts.
Yes, I am.
Ryan was picking on me because I can't say that right.
He can't say it, folks. We tried. The one time he said Massachusetts, he said it way too slow.
I said Massachusetts. Whatever, Massachusetts. Man, I ain't got time to sit here, man, be 9 days trying to say the state name. I tell you what.
All I know is you and Michael Redding say it the same way.
Right.
Must be a Southerner thing.
Well, yeah. Wow.
But we're coming down the back straightaway, Joe. Yeah. We're going to be getting ready for this
Ain't
restart.
Going to is another one, too.
Say what?
Ain't going to.
Ain't going to?
Ain't going to.
I say that.
That drives my wife crazy. She says, you are not going to. I said, yeah, I ain't going to. Well, here we go. Pace cars coming into turn 3 here. Going to come out of turn 4. Going to set these boys loose. A lap 65 of 140 here. Jacob Bell, he's going to try it again. Let's see if he can hang on to that machine. He eases through it. He's able to get off there. Cameron Hearns right there behind him, though. We'll see how long it takes those new tires, man, to just kind of gobble him up, so to speak, going into the turns.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting thing here as we go through turn 1 and 2. We know the inside's the place to be on this on the restart. So right now, the 77 did have the advantage, but I think by the time they get to 3 here, Cameron Hearn is going to be all over the back of them. But so far, Jacob Bell actually doing a pretty good job here. Going to drift up a little bit, though, there in turn 3, and that's going to open the door for the 67.
You know, we were talking about Jacob Bell. We actually don't know how old his tires really are. You know, we got caught up in that wreck earlier on, so he could be on a pit cycle a lot different than others. As we say that, here comes Cameron Hearn on the inside, bringing John Houston along with him. They're freight training him now. But, again, like I was saying, we don't know how old his tires actually are. Obviously older than the guys up front, but he still could have enough tire to last. But we're seeing a pass for the lead. John Houston's bringing the 88 to the front.
Yes, he is, but he gets loose, and the 67's involved. Oh, and that's going to be a big crash. There's a lot of cars. The 99's in it.
Yeah,
big pile up in the dog.
Yeah. Ouch. Boy, he took a very aggressive move. I almost say aggressive move, but it actually was a move nonetheless. He did.
You still there?
All right, man. Well, sorry about that. I was asking my wife. She came back in. It was having a few issues. So we was watching the replay on this one, and you're right. That's a huge one. Pile up on the front stretch there. Most of you know, man, been an eventful week, you know. Started off with my birthday, but also started off with my wife being very, very sick. And so just been one of them things. Everything's good now, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear that at least she's, from what you've told me, is doing better, and I hope that everything is okay. But gotta say, real quick, with that big crash, Jacob Bell has now continued to stay in second. Keith Haney is the new leader. And Daniel Haney, who we just talked about pitting, who had tried to make that strategy work, came in and pit. He finds himself in the top 10 now after that wreck, and he's on the newest tires of anyone in the top 10. So Daniel may be in a good position here to try to start working his way to the front.
Yeah, it was. Well, we saw the move. John Houston brought it to the front. Just got loose going in there. Had a bad fast machine. That thing just stepped out from under him because he dove it down in there. Obviously, the 67 nowhere to go, and then from there's. And we were just talking about it, Ryan. Those cars get loose at the beginning of the front of the field. It's going to take a lot of good cars out, and it did, unfortunately here. So, yeah, but you're right, Jacob Bell. The thing about it is, though, is he still didn't go in and get tires. I would have rather seen him go in and get tires. Maybe he knows something we don't know, but that puts Keith Haney up front. And yes, they have a new preview for Iracing. And actually, I did one of the time attacks today, so it's actually pretty cool.
Really? I haven't done one of those yet.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Look, the interface looks actually kind of neat. You can go on there and look at it.
I'll have to take a look after the race here, but right now too, we're talking about these guys who are having issues. We mentioned the list of drivers that were involved in that last wreck. It also included the 96 Eric Tesh. He had been involved as well, but looking back further, you talked about it. Jacob Bell has still yet to pit. I really have to go on the side of now at this point, because he's been able to stay in that top 2, even though he's on older tires. He's going to just gamble that if he continues to stay out at some point, Keith Haney, Nate Trito, all those guys are going to pit, and he'll be able to go with them, and then he'll be on, the same tire and fuel cycle as everybody else, putting him up at the front.
Yeah, as long as he can maintain, stay pace with those guys. We saw him go around him right there a little bit. Nate Trito was able to stay out of that mix-up up there. Unfortunately for old Cameron Hearn, now he still got his fast fix to be able to use it, so with John Houston. So they're not out of the woodwork ship now. They're just going to be very, very mindful and patient from this point on, as a host of others are too. As we're going to get set here for some bad, fast drivers and the bad, fast cars. And it's definitely been a bad, fast, fear type track here, so to speak, at Atlanta Motor Speedway for Extreme Motorsports 99.com Xfinity Series. And that is awesome, George, man. Love to see, man, the guys out there having fun, loving all of it. Because I'm up here, Joe White up in the booth here. Ryan W. Daniels, it's good to have Ryan back here, man, calling all this action. It's been fun so far and a great race. We're going to have lap 71 when they cross the line of 140.
Yeah, just past halfway now in this race, and as you say, it's been exciting so far. It's just definitely interesting to see what these guys are going to be able to do here as this race continues to come on. And if we get a long green flag run here, this is definitely going to be one of those tire and fuel strategy races, I would say.
It would if we can, because we're at a halfway point right now, so definitely cross this line here in lap 71. We did get a good long green flag here run. The problem is, as we always like to say, business picks up here. This pace car's coming out of turn number 4. Going to take it all hard off on the pit road. Man out front, Keith Haney's going to hammer through the gear. He's going to put the metal pedal to the floor. Boy, spins the tires. And so does Jacob Bell. That's going to let Nate Trito, the hard charger, get a good run on him as they head off into turn number 1. He's almost going to be side by side, looking on the outside.
Yeah, they are going to be side by side as well. That 32 to the inside of the 77, and now Bryce Senesac going to catch up to the back of the 77 of Jacob Bell, but we do also have a battle for the lead. The 97 of Nate Trito to the inside of the 87 of Keith Haney as they go through turns 3 and 4.
Absolutely, a hard charger. He charges that thing to the front. The 97 machine, Nate Trito, pulls it out front here. Keith Haney's the man in second. They come across the line at lap 72. Jacob Bell's right back there in the 4th spot. He's got Bryce Senesac looking on the inside, but the man Ryan Broderick made it the tide ride. He took it, and we're under caution.
Yeah, we've got another big crash over in turns 1 and 2. I didn't catch the numbers, but there was at least 3 cars involved.
I know the 5921's involved, so we'll go on to Adam Young here and see what happened on his perspective, so to speak. Well, here's the thing, Ryan. Getting towards the end of the race here, these guys, man, right now, right and wrong with the 21 here. He's coming out of turn 4. Eric Teschnev's back there. I don't know if it maybe happened. They were 2 abreast, side to side back there in a bunch full dog fight. Oh, they went 3 wide. It looks like he just got clipped a little bit. 59 got involved. John Houston was involved again. Unfortunate for him. So just the 2 cars. Looks like only the 2 cars back there. So those guys are back there battling it out. Here's the thing I was talking about. Getting to the point of the race right now, I don't want to say patience are running out, but maybe some of that tempo is getting to the upscale side. And with that said, who you want to talk to?
Well, I'm taking a look right now, trying to see if all these guys are going to pit, because if so, I'd like to get a talk, if we can, with Jacob Bell, just to see how he feels now that this is going to obviously have worked out if these guys all come in, and it looks like they are.
Oh, absolutely. Well, he did come in, so...
Yeah.
Oh,
Alrighty, so did you want to talk to Jacob, or?
Oh, you can, it's fine, go ahead.
Alrighty. Let him get in his pit stall first, I don't want to distract him.
Yeah, he's probably got a countdown and all that. Well, while waiting on that, I want to appreciate everybody coming out here tonight because we're in Atlanta. So let Ryan go ahead and get a talk with old Jacob.
Jacob Bell, this is Ryan Daniels in the OSR Network booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir, I do. How's it going?
It's going pretty good there, Jacob. We saw you have a little bit of trouble early on in this race, but looks like your tire strategy paid off. All these guys finally came in with you. You're now going to be up there with the front group on some 4 brand new tires. You think you got what it takes to be able to stay up there with these boys?
Well, I'll tell you what, the track's really been slick tonight. So being able to stay out and get the cautions to fall my way really means a lot, because now I'm on the leader cycle and I have good track position. So, I mean, it's really just been a battle of track position tonight for the Lime Design Chevy. But now that we're up front, hopefully we can stay there, and we'll see what we got. It's gonna. I mean, like I said, we're just barely past halfway, so we'll see what we got.
All right, well, it's good to see you up there in that 77 car. We know you've had a little bit of a rough season so far, and we wish you luck the best of the way, and hopefully we'll get the opportunity to talk to you at lap 140.
Yeah, man, thanks. And once again, I just want to give a big shout out to Line Design. These guys helped me out a lot, and their support really goes a long way.
All right, well, thank you for talking with us. Good luck, Jacob.
Thanks, man.
All right, well, that's good insight there, man. And I tell you, like I said, sometimes it pays off and it makes him look like $1 million. Sometimes it don't. Fortunately for him, it did pay off. Like we was talking before, he was able to stay up there, and now he's currently sitting in the 6th spot.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, and after a while, you and I, we both kind of analyzed that had to be his strategy. Hope that the cautions fell his way, be able to get that track position, and now he has it. But unfortunately for him, now it's going to be 2 other guys' turn to do the same thing. We got Mike Franklin out in front in the 82 and David Killow there in second in the 28 car. So these two certainly look like they're going to be trying to follow in Jacob's strategy and try to get the cautions to fall their way now.
Well, we only saw it work for one. The other one, not so much. So it is a risk versus reward type of thing. So we'll have to see how it pays off. I want to appreciate everybody coming out here. If you like Atlanta, hey, you're going to like tomorrow night, because we got the best of the best from ExtremeMotorsports99.com Cup Series action. They're bringing out the Cup cars, folks, at Atlanta. And we've got some actual pro-style iRacing drivers. And when I say that, that means some peak antifreeze drivers that they just ran this past Tuesday at Sonoma and was very good. Jimmy Mullis is one of them. Actually got a top 10 in that run. Jimmy Mullis has been doing pretty good here at Extreme, so you'll be able to see him with Jake Nichols and company. A lot of the SRA boys over here, Bobby Cheney and all them. Definitely, man, come out tomorrow night and check us out. Me and Ryan will be calling that action. I love the Cup cars, Ryan. I don't know. They're just something special.
Yeah, there is definitely something special about seeing the way those guys handle those machines, and just want to see if maybe you saw the same thing I did. Did the 82 not the 82, the 28, did he just get a piece of the wall when they went to turn 1?
I heard something, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he was trying to weave, trying to get those tires.
Yeah, he's got some damage on the front, so if you're the guys, Nate Trito and them behind you, you're very, very cautious on this restart, knowing they're on the old tires. Now he's got damage, and you're back there probably biting your toenails and your fingernails and every other nail you might have, maybe some off your deck. But right now, pace car's coming out of turn number 4. Going to take a hard left turn off on the pit road. Here we go. We're going to see Mike Franklin. Got to be easy on the throttle. Well, he spun it a little bit there. David did. Oh, Nate Trito, boy, had to just hang up just a little bit behind him. He's going to get to the inside very quickly.
Yeah, these guys are going to try to make short work of these guys on the older tires. And, it's like you mentioned earlier, I don't know how old the tires were on the 77 when he last attempted that, but the tires on the 28 and the 82 may, in fact, be older than what the 77s were when he attempted to do the same thing. And right now, it does not look like that 28 quite has the speed up at the front, looking loose right now, but these boys making quick work of the 28, and now it's going to be the turn of the 82 of Mike Franklin as the 87 and 97 starting to close in on the back of him as well.
Yep, absolutely. I was watching this right now. Keith Haney's the man, still in 2nd spot right there, and he's got a hard charger, Nate Trito, all over his back deck lid. Ryan Broddick's right there also. Looking good so far here, folks. Give you a high shot here of what these guys are seeing. Well, Ryan Broddick's hanging on to that thing. Get a little wiggly as he's coming out of turn 4 to coming to the line. Lap 79 here of 140 in the books.
Yeah, and right now that 97 of Nate Trito is all over the back of the 87 of Keith Haney, but I got to give props to the 82 of Mike Franklin. Able to keep it up there so far. And looking good right now is Mike in that 82 machine. We don't usually get the opportunity to talk about him all that much, so it's pretty cool to see right now.
Absolutely. Mike Franklin's still been able to stay out front, like you just said. Keith Haney's right there behind him, putting down some pretty good lap times. Mike is up there. Nate Trito is right there in the tire tracks there. Keith Haney's trying to follow him into the turn. They're coming around, storming out of turn. They're going into turn 1 this time. We're at lap 80 of 140, folks, here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. ExtremeMotorsports99.com Xfinity Series, and it has been a doozy of a race. Very good one so far. Let's get a quick summary right fast, Ryan. 79 of 148 lead changes, 6 cautions. So actually, not as many as probably what me and you were up here going like, oh wow, you know, really, really good patience and really good race so far.
Yeah, it's been very exciting so far as we're here on lap 81 of 140 so far. So, you know, we are now obviously past halfway, and looking further back, right now, Eric Tesh, one of those guys coming through the field, we saw he was involved in that accident when the 51 spun in front of the field on those older tires a little while ago, and now Eric has worked his way, as I said, back to the 7th spot, falling behind the 77 and Jacob Bell. Not too far behind them, as well as the 67 of Cameron Hearn, and we have a battle for second between Nate Trito and Keith Haney. Nate's going to make that pass and now set his sights on the 82 of Mike Franklin, who gets a piece of the wall as they come out of turn 2.
Yeah, he does. He's up there flirting with disaster and banging that wall down right now as the Nate Trito is the hard charger, the man on the move, trying to bring that 97 and run the caution.
Yeah, and it looks like it it all started with the 4 car of Mike Rominger.
Ooh, oh, and Aiden Young's involved in it too. So let's go back here on the replay here and check that out. Hate to see that. Product of this car, mostly product of the track tonight. I mean, the track and the setup's just definitely just that, you know, not there. The car's not bad. Yeah, he just lost it coming out. Got the 81. 9 nowhere to go. 1 nowhere to go. Just one of those deals. Racing thing. Lost it coming out of the turn. We call him Mr. Extreme. Mike Rominger is one of the originals here. And definitely not having the night he wants. Probably just wants to go crawl back into bed and try it over again.
Yeah, that's for sure, but it's going to be interesting to see now. We saw Mike Franklin. He was looking good up there. As you said, he was flirting with disaster up against that wall. But once again, everyone's going to pit, and another driver able to stay out, stay up front, and Jacob Bell is going to stay out this time, but the 82 is going to come in, and that track position is going to pay off for Mike Franklin. I do believe in that 82 machine may be able to keep it up front now.
Yep, absolutely. Well, you know, talk to.
You keep asking me. I'm going to let you pick.
Is your dog in the living room?
My dog is not in the living room.
Darn, can't talk to him. All right. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I had talked to Jacob Bell. Did Matthew Weisenbach just stay out?
I believe so. Or he at least took 2 tires.
Well, let's go talk with him. See what his strategy's about.
Okay.
Matthew Weisenbach, Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, Mr. White, how you doing?
Pretty good. Well, looks like you either stayed out or you took 2 tires. What's the strategy here?
Oh, I stayed down. I just wanted to lead a lap. I've just been kind of minding my business because I don't know. It's been gnarly. It's been a gnarly race, dude. I tell you.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Y'all got some eel handling cars out there. I mean, basically a product of the track and the setup that you got. Kind of loose out there, to say the least. But actually been not a bad race. Guys being very patient. How's your car feeling, though?
It's feeling pretty good. Actually, looks like I think pit road's closed, so we're going to be staying out here and see how it does here. Definitely got some fast cars. The car's doing fine. This setup is definitely really loose until those tires get nice and warmed up about 5 to 6 laps in. So it's a handful. I mean, we don't really have a setup here, so we're just running the iRacing base. So it's interesting to see exactly what's going to happen, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, you got that Enders machine out there. That's old Matthew Weisenbach. Folks, he's going to try to leave that thing up front. Good luck, man.
Thank you, sir. By the way, happy belated birthday.
I appreciate it.
Try to find where Outlaw Jaeger is. There it is. So many teams now, it's even hard to find the original ones that have been here forever.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think of the race so far?
I mean, I think it's been really exciting. I mean, even though we've seen all the, even though we've had, a fair amount of cautions so far, these guys are doing a really good job, I think, of dealing with the conditions the best they can, and we're seeing a lot of good strategy being played here. I mean, unfortunately, we're seeing some guys who have had some trouble, but Jacob Bell gonna roll the dice, as you like to say, and stay out again here. He's gonna be our leader. Matt Walzenbach, who may be on about the same tires as Jacob, is gonna restart in second, and Mike Franklin, who played the strategy to the absolute perfection on that last run, stayed out, was able to hold the lead, and who knows, that 82, I mean, he was able to hold those guys off on older tires. He may have something for them here on newer ones now that he's at the front, so we never know.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely there. So we'll see what old Jacob Bell's got. He's just thinking, man, look, if I can stay up here a few more times during this thing, I'll look like awesome, man. I'll give me some lottery tickets or so forth. So here we go, folks. Pace cars going into turn 3. Going to be lap 87 of 140. And it has been a barn burner here at Atlanta. Hot Atlanta. Pace cars out of turn 4. Going to head off down pit road and hang out for a little bit. Going to send these machines a selling. They're going to hammer through the gears, put the metal pedal to the floor. Oh, Matthew Wassenbach, that is not what we wanted to see. Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's twice now I've seen the same thing in the same lane.
But the bad thing is that took out some good cars, and I know Matthew's probably got to be disgusted with himself on this one. Same scenario. At some point, it's just not worth the risk. Now, Jacob Bell's made it look like $1 million each time, but yeah, that car just did exactly. The problem is, bam, right into Keith Haney, Ryan Broderick, Eric Tesh again. 21-3, a lot of cars. Wow, and even John Houston. Yeah, he's not going to be invited to the Christmas party this year.
Yeah, that's just it's like you say, Matt's not going to be happy with himself on that one, but there's nothing you can do. I mean, you have to try to play the strategy. You've seen other guys be able to make the attempt, and really all I can think is that must be happening there, and you can attest to this as a former driver yourself, Joe, when you're on the outside lane like that, the only thing you can do is try to, time it when the leader goes. And the problem is with the guys who are on fresher tires restarting in 4th, they're going to see the leader go before you do. So he has to try to just stop the throttle, get us going as fast as he can, and unfortunately it's just causing these tires to spin. We saw it happen to Davis Richards, and now we've seen it happen to Matt Walzenbach. Same lane, same issue.
Yeah, and you're in second gear there too. The only other thing you can do is yank in third. Problem is you're going to get run over. It is a crazy race, definitely. I mean, though we're going to sit up here and talk about it, even though it's worked out for Jacob Bell up there a couple times now. Thing about it is it's a risk versus reward type of scenario. At this point in the race, me personally, again, I'm not speaking for any drivers out there by no means. I'm not doing it this early. If we're talking about lap 120, 125, sure, I'm probably staying out, taking the risk then. But at lap 88 to 140, maybe not so much. But again, hey, Jacob Bell up there up front has made it work awesomely. And Mike Franklin did the same thing. So it's got to be something like what you said, the timing of how they're hitting the throttle. Because obviously the leader dictates taking out, taking off. So he has that control of throttle and all that more so than the guys behind him. Because we've seen the last time the two outside guys do the same thing.
Yeah, and again, it's unfortunate, and I can only assume that that's what must be happening. These guys have to suddenly, as the guy on the outside lane, you have to get going as fast as you can once you see that leader move, and the only way you can do it is by just going full throttle. Unlike the leader, who maybe because he's going to catch everybody off guard when he decides to go before the green lights come on or the green flag comes back out itself. Jacob can basically ease onto the throttle, get himself clear. Those guys on the outside have to get on the throttle as hard as they can, which is obviously spinning the tires and causing the problem. And you mentioned it, the only real remedy would be being in third gear, but doing that's just going to get you run over from behind as well. So there's really a lose-lose situation when you're apparently right now on the old tires on the outside lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, Nate Trito's going to be a man on the outside this time. Mike Franklin's going to be on that behind him. Jacob Bell's still going to be out front, so going to see what happens here. Still going to set to go back green flag here in about another lap or so, folks. Been a thriller here in Atlanta for the Xfinity Series, Extreme Motorsports 99.com, that is, Xfinity Series. And who you want to talk to as our fourth man tonight?
Well, I'm looking through the field trying to see who's running maybe in the top 5, somebody who's moved up. And first guy I'm noticing, I think we got to get a talk with Davis Richards. I mean, we saw him have that spin a little while ago, and he's been able to rebound back to the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, he is in the staging room.
Go ahead.
Davis Richards, this is Ryan Daniels up on the booth. Do you have a copy?
How's it going, Ryan?
It's going pretty good, man. We see you sitting up there looking good right now in that 51 machine up in the 5th spot. We saw you have some trouble a little while ago on the older tires on the outside lane. Been able to rebound back up into the top 5. Do you think you'll be able to have what it takes to get back up there and challenge for the lead now that you're on the same tires as everybody else?
Man, I sure do hope so. I had a little embarrassment there. I told myself, I was like, be easy on the throttle, it's going to spin the tires, and then sure enough, as soon as it went green, that all went out the window. But luckily, we put some, we got the Birdie's Construction Broyles Collision Center car fixed up. So hopefully we can, just going to try to stay here in the top 5, try to ride it out and see what happens, and hopefully we'll be there at the end to challenge them and get a win.
All right, well, we definitely wish you luck the rest of the way there, Davis, and hope the opportunity to get to talk to you at lap 140.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, you as well.
All right. Well, we have to go back here green flag racing again, Ryan, and let's see if old Jacob Bell looks like $1 million up front.
Yeah, again, and I think it's a lot of the fact right now, Jacob has put himself in a good spot because, as you said before, Joe, he dictates the restart. So even on older tires, he has the opportunity to come up through the gears before that guy in the outside line really, has the opportunity to see what's going on. Now, Mike Franklin is probably one of the guys who's going to be in what you would call, I guess, the catbird seat, because he's on 4 tires just like the 97 is, and he's right behind Jacob. So definitely going to be interesting to see who's able to come out with the lead here by the time we get out of turn 1 and 2.
Absolutely. Pace car's in. Green flag. Lap 92. Well, Jacob Bell got a good jump that time. So did Nate Trito. He's on the high side there. So they head off into turn 2. They are 2x2 stacked up double time. But oh, look at that old Mike Franklin. He gets away. They go all single file up ahead.
Yeah, it's single file all the way through the top 6 or 7 spots right there. And right now, the 97 and Nate Trito looking to the inside of the 77 as they go to turn 3. And Jacob's going to go a little bit high, looking loose. And Nate's going to try to hold it on the bottom. They come out of turn 4, still side by side for the lead.
Absolutely. Right now, storming up front. But look at Nate Trito. He's the man. Took it to the point right there. Took it away from old Jacob Bell. Well, these guys, man, are screaming around here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, hot Atlanta, 1.5 mile, I'm going to say mini super speedway because the speeds here are super. You think they're fast tonight, better wait till tomorrow night. These guys will be clocking 200 around this joint, and it'll be awesome thriller to see here in the Cup cars. Right now, these guys are just trying to hang on here. It's Nate Trito and Jacob Bell are putting it on point up front.
Yeah, and we have one car down in the grass down the front straightaway. I didn't see who it was. It looked like it may have been the 51 of Davis Richards.
I hate to see that on his end, man. Tough night there. Hey, the George over there, he's celebrating his barbecue. Boy, look at old Colton Lane up there in that number 60 machine. He got a little loose, had to hang on to it. Wow, what a driving job. Problem is, took the 87 down. He had to go to the grass to avoid it. He saw him get a little wiggly up on the high side. So evasive move on his end, bringing Bryce Senesac with the Adidas shoe machine right there on his back deck lid. Those guys, man, are nose to tail, storming down the back stretch. They're going to get it all up in our face right here, man, on the camera shot that we got. We got a car around. I think it's the 59.
Yeah, trying to get back and take a look at that. And I do want to apologize. It was not the 51. It was the 88 of John Houston I saw go through the grass earlier. And you're right, that 59 looks like he may have spun out of turn 2.
He did. Spun out of turn 2, smacked the inside wall. Now he looks like a mad bulldog running around here. Right now, Colton Lane's about on the high side. He's having his hands full here. He's still holding on to 6th spot. And up front, Nate Trito Stills walking away from this one. Good battle going on here. Bryce Senesac trying to hold off old Keith Haney right there as them two men are door to door. Hey, don't count out the man back there, though. That looks like, well, it actually looks like Matt Hoover. Or is that Matt Hoover? One of the Birdies Construction channel.
Yeah, it's the 51 of Davis Richards still running inside the top 6. I said, I made a mistake there with the 88 of John Houston.
Yeah, my bad. Okay. Well, I saw Birdie's Construction. I was wondering what in the world. Well, Colton Lane's right there behind him, but boys got a door-to-door, fender-to-fender battle going on between Davis Richards and Ryan Broderick. Ryan's able to take that tide ride to him, take the pass on him as they head to the line. Lap 98 at 140. You want to talk about, man, some hot Atlanta slick-style track. That's what we dealt with all night long. If we get a good long green flag run, I don't know Eric Tesh back there in the 11th spot. He's still hanging on. Well, Ryan Broderick almost lost it.
Yeah, we've seen Ryan get a little bit loose early on in this race, and right now, looking up front, I'm riding with the 09 of Bryce Senesac, who's continuing to try to put some pressure on the 87 of Keith Haney, but he's actually going to yield to the faster 99 of Mason Wetzel, who's trying to get his lap back the hard way.
Yeah, Mason Wetzel's trying to get that lap back. Definitely, like you said, the hard way. At least stay up there. That way he can definitely be the man with the lucky dog, so to speak, if there is a caution that comes out. Still good 3-car battle going on back here. Davis Richards, Colton Lane, Richie Evans been able to bring that thing up there in the mix as they storm out of turn number 4 here for lap 101 of 140. Is going to be lap 100 of 140. So we got 40 laps to go. Ryan, what are you thinking so far?
Oh, I mean, I'm just thinking, these guys have done a really good job. As you said it, 40 laps to go this time by. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this race, and with all the accidents we've seen a lot of the front-running, maybe contenders for the win have some problems, but Nate Trito able to outlast them all so far, but not far behind them. The two guys who have played a lot of great track position strategy for tires and whatnot, the 77 and 82, Jacob Bell and Mike Franklin, still looking really good. Not ruling out the possibility of a first-time winner here tonight at XtremeMotorsports99.com's Xfinity Series.
Absolutely. Caution comes out. We might see that right now. Nate Trito is the man up front, setting pace here tonight in Atlanta here for the XtremeMotorsports99.com Xfinity Series. You got old Bryce Senesac right there running in 5th spot. Ryan Broderick's behind him. In front of him, Keith Haney, though. So good battle. Going back here through the field here and see what we got going on. David Elliott right there doing good in the top 10. Tyler C. Daniels sitting in 11th. Oh, Adam Young on the inside sitting in 12th. Eric Tesh right there in 13th spot. Now John Houston and company, he's trying to bring that AC Delco machine back up there. And David sitting in 15th. Nick Kuntz in 16th. Little old Daniel Haney in the 17th. Dwayne Culberson, really ain't talked much about him all night long. Just been kind of running in the back there. He's in 18th spot. 19th, James Thorndike. No, Mason Wetzel, like you said, he's still a lap down, but he's trying to get that thing back to hardware. A couple of them, anyways. He's 6 laps down, sitting in 20th. Well, as we said, Mike Rumser, he's in the pits, so that'll bring us back up here to the front, because right now, we started out with 33 cars. We got about 22, 24, 23 of them right now still running, so here's the thing. These guys are in lap traffic now. This is where you got to be very, very patient and careful.
Yeah, and we actually see while these guys are starting to get ready to negotiate the lap traffic, the 87 made the pass on Jacob Bell for 3rd, as now the the number 82 of Mike Franklin continuing to try to run down Nate Trito, but Keith Haney is continuing to show the pace as well here, as he'd like nothing more than have the opportunity to get back up there and battle again with the 97 and Nate Trito.
Well, you talk about lap times right now, he's not far off, but the two guys, man, setting sights on up front, that would actually be Nate Trito and Mike Franklin. But Keith Haney actually is running lap times faster than Mike Franklin. Not quite as fast as Nate Trito, though. We look at the previous times here, so definitely a little bit of difference. He is gaining on that second place man there, Mike, so it'll be interesting to see. Jacob Bell's falling back to fourth. Hey, his tire management deal here tonight probably might get him a top 5 to top 10 out of it.
Yeah, and I think Jacob would have nothing more than that. You and I have seen, unfortunately, this season, a lot of unfortunate DNFs for that 77. Just not had the luck this season, and to see him be able to run up front like this and show what he's really capable of is very cool to see. And you got to know that even a top 10 would mean a lot for that 77, given the way the season's gone so far.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we're at to see what we got here. Is old Nate Trito still setting on point up front and at a blistering pace. Definitely don't want to mess up here. Mike Franklin sitting in second. I appreciate everybody coming out here tonight and watching us, because we got more. If you like Atlanta, well, we got a lot more of it tomorrow night. We got the Cup cars here. Been a good race. We're at lap 107 and 140 on a good long Marine flag run. Don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood, Ryan.
Yeah, and so far we're seeing a decent
said knock on wood.
Yeah, you're knocking on wood.
No, you knock on wood.
Oh, I don't have anything wood near me.
Oh, Lord.
I have
We're
a plastic table.
We're doomed.
Yeah, we're done.
Knock on your head.
You have wooden leg chairs. Chair legs, leg chairs.
I hear you. Oh, man. Oh, well, I mean, it's been an interesting race, so to speak, up here. These guys have done, I mean, like I said, an awesome job. Right now, look at old Bryce Sinasak. He's on the inside there. He's going to take that position away from Jacob Bell and move it up into the 4th spot. Jacob's still right there running along in the 5th spot. You know, he understands he doesn't have the best tires out here. He's just trying to look, man, maybe come out of here with a good finish. Brian Broderick's the next guy behind him, and definitely running about 3/10 faster, so it'll be a matter of time before he runs him down.
Yeah, that's for sure. And right now we're going to start getting into the conversation of when are these guys going to have to make those final pit stops here at the end of the race, because we are 30 laps to go. We know these guys run a limited fuel tank. I don't think they can go the entire way from that last restart, so it'll be interesting to see. And obviously the 77 staying out on those old tires is going to have less fuel than maybe some of these front runners right now. So Jacob, I would expect to be the first guy to see enter the pit lane, which may very well still play into his hands, because with him being in 5th spot like that, Joe, we know how good new tires are here. The second that 77 pits, everybody else may follow suit.
That is true. Now you got to also look, though, Nate Trito. Normally we say the leader dictates that, but you might be true on that one there, Ryan. I mean, I got to give it to, because when he comes into pits, he's definitely going to be on newer tires. Everybody's going to take 4 tires. If you take 2, that's a huge gamble, huge. So I'm going to go on a limb and say everybody's going to take 4 tires coming in. So yeah, he might be the man that actually dictates this one now, even though he's sitting back in 6th spot.
Yeah, and you're right. He is sitting in 6th, but like you just said, I don't see a 2-tire stop being the way to go here at the end of this race, especially if it stays green, only because, you know, we've seen how the cars handle on these restarts on older tires, let alone throwing the gamble of 2 tires, unless it's maybe a lap to go or so and you have to pit for fuel. But even then, there's no sense in taking tires. It's going to take too much time when you can just take a splash and hope that you can hold off those guys on better tires.
Yeah, well, normally we would talk about up here that these guys would actually probably run a solid 30, maybe 40 laps on tires. With the conditions that they're working with out here, I'm going to say, you know, the latter. They're probably going to just probably not try to stretch it as far as they would used to stretch it. But we'll have to see. I mean, you know, some guys will. You know, we can sit up here speculate. I'll get it out. all night long. But, you know, somebody always plays the card on us here, so to speak. And John out there says, never a dull moment, OSR Network. Hey, we make broadcasting fun.
Yeah, we try. And right now, we did miss it while we were talking there. Keith Haney has made the pass for second. So now it's going to be interesting to see that can the 87 start trying to reel in the 97 a little by little, and will Keith Haney be able to have anything for? Will the 87 have anything for Nate as we get later in this race? And the 60 of Colton Lane is pitting this time by, and everybody's going to come in. At least the 97 is.
All right, well, good deal, because, you know, that's going to dictate a little bit. So we're at lap 115, 116 of 140, so that puts us about 25 laps to go. You definitely can make it the rest of the way on tires here. By the end of that run, you'll be screaming, though, but you definitely can make it there. And you're talking about Mike, or actually was Keith Haney, because Nate Trito's in the pits.
Yeah, Nate, the second Nate Trito heard the 60 of Colton Lane make the call to come to the pit lane, he dove down at the last second, was able to get slowed down, I do believe, and is going to get out there. But Keith Haney has decided to stay out, as has Bryce Senesac. He is yet to pit. And the 32 of Ryan Broderick, and I believe the 77 of Jacob Bell are still out on the track. But obviously now that 97 is going to be much, much, much faster on those new tires. And if you do have to pit, now is the time to come in, because that 97, it's... well, everybody else is fighting the maybe possibly even tighter condition on the gold tires.
Ryan got so excited he forgot to mash his button on his mic.
I did?
Yeah, he kind of just like was saying something, then you dropped and you came back.
Oh, well, I was holding the button the whole time. I was saying that everybody needs to consider coming to the pit lane now, because now the 97 has pit, he's going to be much faster than everybody else.
Well, you're talking about the 97. He just went and split in the middle there between the 32 and the 09. He is coming like a rocket ship. And, you know, he's not that far back from getting back on the lead lap. So if you're Keith Haney and company, here comes Bryce Senesac. He's on the pit lane. He saw enough out there that he says, look, and here comes the leader. And we were just talking, Keith Haney's bringing it down the line there. So, yeah, that's going to cycle it back around for us here. Nate Trito should cycle back here to our leader, because they've seen enough. They saw that 97 coming in a hurry.
Oh, and unfortunately the 87 slid through his box. He had to back up. That's going to cost him even more time here as the 97 comes out of turn 4, across the start-finish line, and those leaders still on the pit road. The 77 is still yet to pit, and I do believe the 32 is still out there as well. These guys, you don't think they're trying to stretch it on fuel?
Well, even if they can stretch it on fuel, the problem is it's the tires. They're running their lap times right now 31.1. Nate's putting down 29.4s. There is no benefit by staying out there. He's 28 seconds behind. You're giving up massive almost second and a half a lap, 2 seconds. So yeah, there's no benefit at this point by staying out. Don't know what the strategy is there, but obviously they've came down the pits now. But yeah, if they would have kept staying out there, they're just going to massively lose time. Like I was saying, just no point in staying out. Now, with that said, Jacob Bell's back up front. Davis Richards up there. If they get cautions, it could definitely benefit them.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking might be the strategy here, is these guys continue to stay out. We now see the 19 of David Elliott come to the pit lane, leaving the final 2 drivers who have yet to pit out there are Davis Richards and Jacob Bell. You know, these two still going to have to come in at some point. It's just a matter of how long they want to stretch it. And maybe the question will be, we talked about, will somebody try 2 tires? We've seen Jacob be rather gutsy, staying out on old tires. Maybe he thinks that a splash of fuel and 2 rights might be the way to go, and try to just bide himself enough time to stay out in front of the 97. But he's losing, as you said, so much time to him that the window of opportunity to pit has closed. You now have to hope that a caution comes out.
Well, we talk about Mike Franklin. He just slammed the wall, folks. Just saw it right there. You were talking on the back stretch. Unfortunate for him, the 82 machine. So some of these guys getting a little loose out there. Riding along with Nate Trito here. He's sitting in the 5th spot because a lot of those guys in front of him, if they start to fall off, so to speak. Right now, Davis Richards is the guy out front. But obviously, he's on a lot different pit cycle. I don't think he can make it to the end. I mean, he's still only running 31 lap times as opposed to Nate's 29.6 lap times. So he's a solid second and a half off. And he's just praying for a caution at this point.
Yeah, I was just going to say that in agreement with you. These guys can only be waiting on a caution. I mean, there's no way that they're going to make it to the end of this race on fuel, and the tires are just at some point just going to give up so much that it's going to be. The 77 has just announced he is coming in, so that's it right there. The 77 is going to have to give up the GOAT, and we're going to have to see what the 51 does here as well.
Yeah, the 51, I mean, he's got a clean car out there, so it'll be interesting to see. I just don't know what kind of pit cycle he's on here. I mean, obviously, at this point, even though when he does come in, he's going to give up, a massive amount of track position as Nate Trito is coming through the field, coming in a hurry. He's ran a 29.5 the last time Nate did. Davis Richards out front ran a 31.3, so you're almost a solid, almost 2 seconds off. And 13.8 seconds separate you. It won't take but a matter of a couple laps. You won't make it to the rest of this race running the way you're running. And even with a caution, now a caution probably would play everything. Obviously, we don't want to see that. We'd love to see it go all the way out. But a caution would mix it up for you, because then everybody come back in.
Yeah, and it looks like the 51 is now going to hit pit lane, which is going to hand the lead back over to, actually, it's gonna hand it over to John Houston for just a moment, but the 97 is right behind him, and unfortunately, the 77 sped coming to the pit lane, so that is going to negate what could have been a really good finish for Jacob Bell, and unfortunately, Jacob is now around in turn 3 as well.
Wow, just not having a fun time out there right there. So, well, short-lived up there is Nate Trito. Yeah, he did what he had to do, ran them all down, blew right by him. He's got that 97 on rails, looking good. John Houston here is a man in second. Eric Tess sitting in third. They're just hoping, they're probably hoping for a caution, maybe to come out of here with some good finishes.
Yeah, they have to. With all the damage on the 96 and the 88, their best hope right now is a caution, just trying to get them back on the lead lap, keep them there, and try to get maybe a top 15, top 10 out of this thing, instead of falling back to being a lap down and having to battle again with some of those guys. But right now, I mean, the biggest gap really that you're looking at in terms of guys who may end up 1-2, or Nate Trito has over a 13-second gap on Keith Haney, and he just really needs to take it easy here the rest of the way. 10 laps to go, coming this time by, and Nate has got really what looks to be the strongest car so far right now.
Yeah, 13 seconds is the difference between him and the guy with the newer style tires, Keith Haney, in the 4th spot. Just give you an idea of lap times. Nate ran a 29.9, Keith ran a 29.94. Nate, and we're under caution.
Yeah, and this is going to change everything.
Yes, it is definitely going to change it all, because, what do you do? Do you come back in and pit again?
Oh, I'm going to say you do whatever the leader doesn't do.
But if you're Davis Richards?
If I'm Davis Richards, I'm about to get the lucky dog. So, Davis
Don't pit.
Huh?
He just pit. That's right.
Yes, he's going to get to stay out. He's the lucky dog, but he's going to have to start from the tail end of the line anyway, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate virtue of the lucky dog. You get your lap back, but you have to go behind everybody.
All right, we'll see what happened here. Is right along with the 21. He was involved in this. Looked like it happened in front of him.
And And Richie Evans is going to be the guy to gamble and stay out.
All right, well, now's the times when you gamble. I mean, a lot of cars gamble. A lot of them stay out. Wow.
Well, a lot of them are going to be wave arounds. I believe the 51, he's getting the lucky dog, 00. He is going to get the free pass, as is the 45. The 77 looks like he's going to try to get the wave around, but I don't know if he's behind the current leader, who, as I said, is going to be the 3 of Richie Evans.
Yeah, but you've got the 3, the 19 is going to be right there in front of Nate Trito along with John Houston.
Yes, sir.
And then you got Keith Haney, Colton Lane, all right there. So
we're definitely going to have to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, going to be interesting because we're at lap 132 and 140, folks. Now, I always say 2 scenarios. Yeah, lawn mowing and drifting. You got that right. With V8s. There's always 2 scenarios. Obviously, lap 140, that ends it. That's what we're looking for. Lap 136, though, caution comes out. That ends it. So keep that in the back of your mind. Obviously, it's in the back of Richie Evans' mind. It's in the back of Nate Trito's mind also. He's got to be very careful, though, because he's going to be right behind David Elliott. We've seen a couple times guys on that outside lane have lost it.
Well, I was just going to say, looking at the laps, this is basically how it's going to work out. If it's 2 to green right now, that means they're going to restart on lap 135. If Richie Evans can stay out in front, not spin his tires, and if unfortunately the same thing that has happened to the 51 and the 29 happens to David Elliott, Richie Evans may just win this race. Because all he's got to do is get across that start-finish line.
Yeah, we got to click lap 136.
136, okay.
Yep.
So they need to run at least a lap.
Yep. Yeah, they'd have to run a lap. Yep.
All right. Well, that's definitely everything. Richie's hand
yeah,
right there.
yeah, it will. And by everything I have ever seen, it had to be 136. Now, could be wrong, but from everything I've always seen, it's a good safe bet to say 4 laps is usually what it takes. So that's why I always give that scenario to people and the viewers out there. They love it too. And although business is about to pick up here, these guys, hey, if you got friends, you got teammates, you got loved ones out here, forget about it. That's all out the window now because there are no friends or anything. The good thing about Nate Trito is he's going to get start behind the leader. John Houston's going to be on that outside lane right there, so that might be a good thing for him.
Yeah, and that's for sure. You know, we talked about it. We may still see a first-time winner here tonight. Obviously, I think the 97's been the class of the field so far. We've seen Nate Trito be able to run at the front, keep it there. Even early on in the race, he was able to storm up to the front. So, going to be interesting. But John Houston's up there. He's going to, even with all that damage, he's going to have a fair shot at it as any. And you never know. If the 19 of David Elliott can hang on and he does not spin on this restart and he is able to do what nobody else has been able to do so far, David Elliott's one of those guys. He doesn't usually run up front. He may see this as his one opportunity to really show what he can do on this couple laps to go.
Yep, well, here we go. We're going to settle this one right here. Pace car is going to head off into turn pit road. There we go. He gets a good jump, and he does a wonderful job of holding that thing, David Elliott does. And they go side by side into turn 1 here with Nate Trito and company on his back deck lid. Now, Nate's got to be very patient. He understands that if a caution does come out, that it's over, but he still has to be patient on making that pass.
That's for sure, and if you said it, these guys get back to the line here, that could end it. The 19, David Elliott holding strong on the outside. I did not expect that, to be honest, but David showing some strength, but Richie Evans continues to hold the lead. Keith Haney trying to get around that 97. He knows what this is all about here as we're coming 5 laps to go now, and next flag ends the race.
Yep, if there's a caution comes out now, Ryan, it's over with. Then Nate Trito loses it. Wow, he don't want to be the caution, but he is going around. Slams the inside wall. If caution flies, that's over. And I'm going to tell you what, Richie Evans looks like a superhero out there. No caution, though. We still keep going. He has got the lead. The man stayed out here on a pit move and is looking awesome. But look behind him, the number 60 of Colton Lane up front. You're right. Could have a first-time winner here tonight at Atlanta. And like we said, the next caution here. So it is a risk versus reward as the 60 goes to the inside.
Yes, he is. Colton Lane, where did he come from? You said it. That 60 looking good, and not far behind them, the one of Dwayne Culberson up to third. He's been hanging out the back of the top 15 all night long, has put that machine in a great spot. He's coming under fire from the 09 to Bryce Senesac for the third position.
Yeah, it is. They're door-to-door wheeling here to turn number 1. They're side-to-side. This is business picking up, folks. This is all awesome racing. Keith Haney still in the 5th spot. New guys, look at Davis Richards hanging in 6th. Got old Ryan Broderick there in 8th. As we're coming around here, it's going to be lap 139 of 140. Man out front, Colton Lane, though, powered that 60 machine to the front up there. Boy, the one gets really wiggly coming out of the turn. Ryan, as Richie Evans trying to do everything he can. Bryce Senesac's up to third.
Yeah, Bryce Senesac looking good, but those fresh tires for the 60 of Colton Lane. Colton hung around again. Another one of those guys hung out in the top 10 all night long. They're coming to get the white flag. We talked about the potential first-time winner. Colton Lane, out of nowhere, has just come taking this race by storm here as they take the white flag.
Yep, white flag this time by one more time around a 1.5 mile, I'm going to say mini super speedway, because it's fast speeds and fast cars on a very slick track here. It was all Nate Trito up front, lost it, almost collected a field. Good job by him. Right now, the battle's going to be for second spot here. As one more time here coming around, Bryce Senesac looks on the outside. Colton Lane just has to have it. He is on the outside. Keith Haney says, I'm going to try to battle it. They're coming to the line, almost 2 abreast. Is he going to be able to do it? Richie Evans hangs on to second by mere inches coming to the line, but the 60 takes this one home. What a finish and what a thriller to this one.
An absolutely fantastic finish there. 3/1000ths of a second for second place there. A great job by Bryce Senesac to make that pass, and a heck of a job by Richie Evans to hang on for third. But Colton Lane, out of nowhere, takes this win in that 60. A great job. Congratulations to him.
Bryce didn't make the pass.
He did for me.
Really?
Yeah, beat him by 3/1000ths.
Wow. We talk about some inches. That's centimeters.
Yeah.
Wow. That was... who would have thought? Who would have thought? It would have came down to the pit strategy and all, but hey, another first-time winner here in the Xfinity Series for ExtremeMotorsports99.com. And what a finish. What a finish for that young man right there in the 60 machine. Colton Lane, right place, right time. Nate Trito came out of the turn, lost it. One heck of a race. Burn them down here as this is going to be a interesting, to say the least, talking.
Yeah, that's for sure, and I'm going to start pulling these guys up into the staging area for us.
All right, John, I want to appreciate all the viewers. Thanks for coming out here tonight. What a race here. This was awesome of a race and thrilling of a finish.
Yeah, very thrilling finish. And, we saw as they went down the back straightaway on that final lap, the 3-car, Richie Evans, put the block on Bryce, the whole one-lane block, that first defensive move. He did a good job. And, honestly, I think being on the outside is what gave that 09 the momentum coming off the corner, able to get that pass just barely as they came to the start-finish line. But I'm going to get ready to pull the number 3, Richie Evans, up here in the booth.
Cool.
Richie Evans, this is Ryan Daniels in the OSR Network booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Richie, you restarted in the lead there on that final restart. We saw you be the first guy to try to take that gamble to stay out there. A heck of a job bringing it home on the podium finish. What did you need to do differently there to try to keep the 60 and the 09 behind you?
I don't think there was a whole lot I could do. They were on fresher tires than me, so I just tried to throw a little block, but I wasn't going to, run too hard.
Well, we definitely saw an exciting finish there between you and Bryce, all the way to the line. 3/1000ths of a second for second place. You guys put on a heck of a show. Is there anybody out there you want to thank for an awesome finish for you guys in the number 3 team?
I want to thank my teammate Mike. He was helping me spot there at the end because he kind of wrecked out. So definitely want to throw a shout out to him and just everybody that raced with and you guys up in the booth.
All right, well, we thank you for coming up here and talking with us. Congratulations on a podium finish there.
Yep, thank you.
All right, well, Richie's definitely going to be happy with that there, being able to maintain a 3rd place there, Joe, at the end of the race.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he definitely an exciting young individual. I mean, had everything coming up there. Definitely right call, and it paid off. He got a good finish out of it. But another one here, Bryce Senesac.
Yes, sir. Bryce Senesac, this is Ryan Danos on the OSR Network booth. Do you have a copy?
Big 10-4 right there.
Well, Bryce, we saw you have a really good run there in that final restart. You were behind a couple of them guys who also pitted with you. You were able to bring that machine home in 2nd place by the slimmest of margins there over Richie. What did you have to do differently to try to catch the 60 at Colton Lane?
Not much really. I just needed more laps, but I'm just beyond myself that I got Richie there at the end. I thought if it went green, we were gonna be a top 5 at best, 5th, maybe 4th, because I was kind of struggling on the long runs with the steering ratio I had. We were getting a bit too tight, but yeah, we ended up managing it quite well.
Well, you definitely did a good job, as you just said, of managing it, and like you say, 3/1000ths of a second for second place. So definitely an exciting finish, as Atlanta tends to produce here in all forms of racing. But definitely cool to see you up there. And anybody out there you want to thank for being able to bring this 09 machine home in 2nd.
I gotta, of course, thank you guys for bringing on this broadcast and everyone down there at Law Dog. Moved to Performance, but we're working out at their shop right now, and yeah, for any of those F1 guys, I feel like Valtteri Bottas putting on that move at the end. It's been so long. I've been a contender like every single week. I think you guys have seen it, and just something ends up going wrong, and I either mess up or someone else messes up that affects me. But I've needed this for a long time.
Well, you definitely showed him that you had the speed and the ability to get up there tonight, Bryce. Congrats on the 2nd place finish, and we wish you luck when Extreme picks up in 2 weeks after the break.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Ryan, I'm going to head off down here to Victor Lane. Going to be one happy young man down here at Colton Lane, because he did a masterful job of bringing that 60 machine to the front and put it in Victor Lane tonight. Colton Lane, Joe White in the booth, got a copy?
I do. What's going on tonight?
Well, hey, definitely you're the man putting it in Victory Lane and doing it in an exciting fashion. Right place, right time, powered that 60 machine up front. You're the winner here for the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Xfinity Series Atlanta Motor Speedway. How's it feel?
It feels pretty good. I've been league racing for just about a year now in a couple of different leagues. This is my first win in a league, so I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what. Well, congratulations. and congratulations with the win tonight, because that is awesome. I mean, you did a awesome job. Right place, right time. Was able to make that move there up going around, I think it was Jacob up there at the front. And just able, man, just to fly by him. Nate Trito had a little bit of trouble. You're looking like you're going to have a good finish either way. So, but a win definitely is something you want. Got anybody there you want to thank for it?
Yeah, just a thanks to the guys at Extreme. Racing with these guys the past few weeks have made me better. There's a lot of good, clean racing out there tonight. It was really fun. I feel bad for the 97 and 87 that spun out there. They were definitely better than me tonight, but you know, like you said, the cards fell my way. So I got lucky this time, so we'll see what happens later.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what, sometimes you got to have a little skill, luck involved. Even though sometimes, man, it might be the fastest car, but nonetheless, I can't take it away. You're the winner here tonight. Extreme Motorsports 99.com, Atlanta Motor Speedway, Colton Lane.
Thanks, guys.
Right. Well, with that said, Ryan, let's get a race results order here. Colt Delane does pull in victory lane here tonight. Bryce in a second, right there in second. You said it, two 1,000ths of a second difference between him and Richie Evans bringing in third. Keith Haney there in fourth. Dwayne Cumberson fifth. Davis Richards sixth. Ryan Broderick seventh. David Elliott eighth. Daniel Haney ninth. And old John Houston did get a top 10 out of it.
Yeah, definitely so. And Nick Hunt, his teammate, going to bring home in 11th. Tyler Daniels in 12th. Eric Tesh in 13th. Jacob Bell, unfortunately, with that pit road speeding penalty, going to come home in the 14th position. Adam Young in 15th. David Kilolo in 16th. 17th, Nate Trito. 18th, Mason Wetzel. 19th, James Thorndike. And rounding out the top 20, Mike Franklin.
Yeah, we got 21st. Old Mike Rominger right there. Ethan Kurtz, 22nd. Matthew Wazenbach, 23rd. Cameron Hearn, 24th. James Haney in 25th. Aiden Young, 26th. Nicholas Caldwell, 27th. Doug Blackman, 28th. Matt Hoover, 29th. And old Cody Pace rounding out the top 30.
Yeah, and then 31st in the final position was Thomas Wagner.
Absolutely. Well, I want to appreciate everybody coming out here. And thank you, George, out there, man, as always. Glad, man, they love this. Awesome. And definitely, if they like that, they'll like tomorrow. So we're back here in Atlanta again for some cup action. We got some of the big boys here of Extreme Motorsports 99.com. They'll be flying high around this track, be very fast. So, Brian, got any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it just definitely an exciting event tonight. It was a lot of fun to be able to come up here and call such an exciting event. And even given the conditions, we saw some great racing all the way through the field. Really speaks to the talent level in the Xfinity Series and for ExtremeMotorsports99.com. And congratulations again to Colton Lane. Just, he said it, maybe the 97 and the 87 were better, but, like you mentioned, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And tonight definitely appeared to be the case. That 60 was looking good all night long, but luck definitely fell into his favor there at the end and picked up his first ever league win and first win at ExtremeMotorsports99.com.
Yep, absolutely. You're 100% right. I want to give a shout out to the title sponsor here, OSR Network 10 Designs, Racing Designs, and Graphics. Check those boys out. Well, we're here in Atlanta. We're going to stay in Atlanta. We'll be here tomorrow night, me and Ryan will, for the cup action for ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Get ready and set because they're going to be the bad boys of Extreme. They're bringing out the big dogs. I call them the monster machines. Going to be some high-powered, slick-style action around here. These boys are going to do it big. So, as always, I want to appreciate everybody coming out, and we will see you then. Everyone have a good night.